So this is the finished product. I'm going to do a flip through at the end. Please watch until the end so I can be on the YouTube algorithm. So welcome back to the second half of my blue and white journal. I'm going to do the cover today, and I'm going to do the second half of the signature. And then we'll wrap this up because I have surgery soon. So thanks for coming back. Even if there's one or two of you, thanks for coming back. I will first of all say that I went on my printer and I printed up a bunch of stuff. This is mostly Ruby and Pearl XO's French blue kit, and so these are some of the things that I printed up. And then I have some other things to incorporate. So we're gonna get started right now. I don't like long introductions. So let's see what we're gonna do. We could do this pretty easily. We could let that stay like that. This is that dilemma that I have of this being too contemporary for me, or modern. So what if we did that? So I get out my tiny attacher again from Tim Holtz and put this little piece of muslin on here, and then I just flipped it down to cover up the staples because I didn't want the staples showing on the muslin. And then my glue, I ordered some more glue because it wasn't coming out that little tiny tip like it's supposed to. So I ordered a whole new thing. That's pretty bad when you have to order a whole new thing of glue to get it to work. But I did. It's done. Now I'm moving on. And I tried to use this rusty pin that I made. And I decided that if I use the rusty pin and somebody stuck their finger with it, it might not be good because it really is rusty. So I tried it here, and plus it was hard to attach it. And then I decided, no, we're going to use just a bulb pin and just attach the button and that little heart. And that way it'll be safer for when it's attached and used. So that's that. So I like how that looks. I like that piece of doily that I cut. It turned into kind of like an arrow. And it's a little pocket too. And now, shuffling through these papers, I will decide that I wanted to cover up that blue. First I was going to keep it, and after shuffling through and trialing papers, settled on this one, put a little ink around the edge, and attach that to the center. I think that looks good there. And using another stick that I found when I go roaming around in my room, I find things. And that attaches nicely with that glue stick. So I was working feverishly on this, finishing this journal right before surgery, the day of actually, because I knew I wasn't going to be able to do much after. And here I am, editing. I'm not using this hand. I'm holding the camera with the other hand because I can't use this one, so I really appreciate you watching. And hopefully you're watching till the end because this is post-surgery. I had it at 1 o'clock. And now it's 9 10:51. I just wanted to show you how hard I work to edit and put a video on my channel. So I'm moving along, and I'm finishing this up, like I said, the morning of surgery, and I am trying to not rush it, but I really want to get it done. And I noticed I covered a lot of pages with color, and that means not a lot of writing space. But sometimes, you know, you can add writing space by just adding a piece of notebook paper in there. And that's what I ended up doing when I finished the journal. I added some little books to write in. This blue paper is the envelope that housed the stamps that I have been using. And I loved the patina on this and made a flip page with this. And I really, I was glad that I did that because that was such a pretty blue. Grabbing more digitals and trying to accent that blue with a little bit of off-white, and I'm not really liking it, so I just keep adding, and before I know it, I'm collaging, and I'm still not really totally happy with it. Maybe a little lace will help. And then I decide this circle, this doily, I just cut out this doily and wait a minute, use that art glitter glue to glue it down. I don't know what I did with my cereal liner, but I use that to hold the glue in place. There's my cereal liner. And I'm just on to another page here. And it's so much easier to try to smear the glue on the page and not have it stick to your fingers with that liner. I found this, I think it's an Italian paper, I want to say, and I used a few pieces of that. And I went to add some music to this, and I don't know where all of my music disappeared from my music, audio, video section of iMovie. And I really don't want to take the time right now to add more music. Some people don't even like music, so when they're watching the video. So I'm not sure what's happening with that. If anybody else is experiencing that, let me know how you fixed it, because I'm going to have to look that up next. Took a little break. Now I am going to tear some paper here from a stack that I dyed a while back and didn't really know what to do with. That blue on there is just enough to be considered to add, consider to add to this journal. Yeah. And this picture of this little baby face was so cute. I wanted to add it somewhere. Adding it at the end may not make sense, but to me it's a nice little surprise at the end. I'm almost finished here, and I couldn't not add this picture because it was just really sweet. And adding a little lace at the top, you can never go wrong with that, I don't think. Making a little collage for this little pretty baby face to be laid upon here. I love the edge there. When I dyed that paper and then I put it in the oven, it kind of gave that little crispy brown edge. I always like using that. I don't like throwing that away because it just seems so natural. So I want to be able to use it. So I'm running out of my glue stick again, but trying to finish up. So after she is glued down on this page, I just tear back a little bit of the page edges so that it looks a little more antiqued. And now this side, I'm using this little digital wallpaper to cover up those dashes because those don't fit with what I'm trying to accomplish here. So we'll just get that on using my cereal liner, and now we are finished. And the book is too fat. The binding just doesn't it doesn't hold up because I made the signatures so big. I just filled them up. So I just take this little knife and cut off the back, and I'm thinking if I sandwich them together, really don't have a total plan here yet, but I know I need to make it wider. And I'm just going with, you know, a little bit of experience and thinking if I just put like some kind of an edge there, I'll use this muslin and that'll hold it. And that's probably going to get glued with the glue stick or the glitter glue. I'm going to go with the glitter glue apparently, and just let that dry really well. And this is the part where I realize I can't get it done, and so I have to let it dry, walk away from it, let it completely dry because I don't want it to fall apart. It has to be really strong. So gluing both sides, and then I don't want to leave it like this. I've got a plan for the edge that will make it look pretty. I need to cut the other side off and glue the front. So same process. So now I have the front and back covers glued to each other, but my signatures are now flapping in the breeze, so I have to figure out how to get them together. And I remembered this technique from something I did a long time ago, and just glued down another piece of muslin to hold that signature to the front cover, and then I will do the same thing for the back cover. Just take another piece, glue the signature to the back cover with that. So that was pretty easy. An easy way to make the alligator journal into a little more manageable. My goal was I really wanted it to close and lay flat mostly. Now I'm going to try to pretty it up with this lace, which is not really lace at all, it's a doily. That's what I've been cutting off of the whole time. And I really love this scalloped edge. I also like this, but I didn't want to cover up all of the painting that I did. So I compromised and covered just a bit of it up. So moving right along, I want to use this digital, but I want it backed with antique looking page. I've been keeping this book cover page for a while, and I didn't end up using the front. I used the back of it because it seemed old and just the right thickness for me. And I want to fold over the edges and give it a little more antique look than it had, so I did that by folding over the edges. And then something weird's going on with iMovie, so I lost some footage, but we're just going to keep going on. Now we're done anyways. This is my flip through, and I wish I could just add some pretty music right now, because you may be tired of listening to me, but this is what I've got to work with, and that's what I'm working with. I'm just flipping through the entire book. Love this velvet ribbon and my little cascade of laces over there on the left, and then this letter from 1902, Miss Dixie letters. I have a little pile of them, and I like to stick them in a journal every now and then. And then my embossed paper there, and then this ledger paper. I love looking at the ledger paper and just feeling the thoughts of what the lady or man was doing when they just walked into the general store and just put everything on a ledger. Now this lady, to me, she's a little scary looking, but it's an authentic picture that I have a few of. I don't have a lot, but it's this whole family. And that antique tape that I made, I had a very difficult time getting it off of the paper. Not paper, it's a photo insert that you put it on when you make it. If anybody has any tricks to get that off of the photo insert, let me know, please. Some Edith Holden pages there. A very messy picture of the words. And again, that's my floating pocket. At this point, I'm doing a flip with one hand because of the surgery. And here we are at the center. Johnny and Jack. Flip that open, that beautiful music paper. Beautiful digitals, and a pile of ephemera that I have that's all authentic. It's not copied. It's from Fall River, Mass. Thought that was the sweetest thing. And some letter paper. I bought these at an estate sale, and I guess the person was a traveler, and he or she liked to collect letterhead paper from the hotels that they stayed at. I made some tags using a lot of the pieces that I used to make the pages with for continuity. And then I did go on and print off some more digitals to complete the tags. Here's a nice letter from 1924 from a father to his daughter. Some places to write because I do have a lot of color in this, and I thought it would be nice to have more places to write so that it's not just an art journal. There's the piano paper, and this is a genuine check stub, and I took the rest of the Social Security number out because this is an actual person. It's from 1946, and they may still be alive, and I'm all about HIPAA, being a nurse. I don't want people's Social Security, even if it is an authentic document, to be spread around. And this is some more real ephemera. Looks like 1919. And a booklet that I created using my tiny attacher. I just love saying that. All the different pages that I've been using throughout the journal. I made a little booklet with it. And that cute little girl at the end, I did put a little bulb pin with the heart at the corner, and here we have a couple of tags that I made. That pocket came with the book. And this is a postcard I bought at an antique shop. And the journal ended up still being a little fat, even though I gave the generous amount to the binding to make it bigger. There you have it. I hope you like it, and thanks for watching.